In a dramatic escalation with global implications, the United States has launched targeted military strikes on Venezuelan territory, triggering urgent reactions across Latin America, Washington, and international capitals. This development marks one of the most serious confrontations between the United States and Venezuela in years, raising fresh concerns about regional stability, energy markets, and the risk of wider geopolitical fallout. According to official statements, the U.S. strikes were carried out against what American defense officials described as strategic military assets linked to hostile operations. The Pentagon said the action was precise, limited in scope, and intended to neutralize immediate threats to U.S. interests and regional security. The strikes reportedly took place during the early hours, targeting specific locations believed to be connected to military coordination and logistical support. U.S. officials emphasized that civilian infrastructure was not the objective, and that efforts were made to minimize collateral damage. From Washington, senior officials framed the operation as a defensive measure. They stated that intelligence assessments had identified escalating risks that required immediate action. The White House said the decision followed weeks of heightened tensions, diplomatic warnings, and surveillance activity in the region. In Caracas, the response was swift and defiant. The Venezuelan government condemned the strikes as a violation of national sovereignty, calling them an act of aggression. State media showed images of military mobilization, while senior officials vowed to defend the country as what they described as foreign intervention. President Nicolas Maduro addressed the nation, accusing the United States of destabilizing the region and undermining international law. He called on allies to stand with Venezuela and warned that the country would not remain passive in the face of military action. Across Latin America, reactions were mixed but deeply concerned. Several regional governments urged restraint, warning that further escalation could destabilize the continent. Calls for emergency diplomatic talks echoed from capitals across South America, with leaders emphasizing the need to avoid a broader conflict. Internationally, the situation has drawn close attention. Russia and China criticized the strikes, urging respect for sovereignty and warning against unilateral military action. Both countries called for an immediate de-escalation and renewed diplomatic engagement. European leaders expressed alarm, stressing the importance of dialogue and international mediation. The United Nations Secretary-General's office said it was monitoring the situation closely and urged all sides to avoid steps that could spiral into a wider crisis. Meanwhile, global markets reacted quickly. Oil prices moved higher amid fears of supply disruptions, given Venezuela's role as a major energy producer. Analysts warned that prolonged instability could impact global energy flows, particularly if sanctions or countermeasures intensify. Back in the United States, the strikes have sparked political debate. Supporters argue the operation was necessary to protect U.S. interests and deter hostile actions. Critics, however, are questioning the legal basis, the long-term strategy, and the risk of dragging the country into another prolonged confrontation. Security analysts say the coming days will be critical. Much depends on Venezuela's next move, whether it responds militarily, seeks diplomatic channels, or leverages international forums to build pressure against Washington. Any retaliatory action could significantly raise the stakes. There is also concern about regional spillover. Neighboring countries are closely watching their borders, while regional organizations are considering emergency consultations to prevent miscalculations and unintended clashes. As for now, both sides appear to be signaling strength, while leaving the door open, at least publicly, for diplomacy. But history shows that moments like this can shift rapidly. What happens next will shape not only U.S.-Venezuela relations, but also the broader balance of power in the Western Hemisphere. As the world watches closely, the message from global leaders is clear. Escalation carries risks far beyond national borders. This is a developing story, and the next moves from Washington, Caracas, and the international community will determine whether this crisis cools down or deepens further.